Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. There was a vote in Parliament yesterday. It wasn't a very well attended vote, but it was nonetheless a legitimate one. A 10-minute motion, a member's rule, was put in place and was presented to the House that offered protection for children and acknowledgement that parents must be informed of what is going on with a child at school. And it was voted down, predominantly by the Labour Party. And indeed, one Labour MP said the very idea of allowing parents to know what is happening to their child in a school was despicable. This is the Labour Party. They're saying that it is despicable that parents are aware of what is happening to their children. Given the fact, of course, that the Labour Party still has Harriet Harman in it, a woman who for several years was the voice piece of the paedophile information exchange. I have to say it in such a way that it won't get a throw up from YouTube. But you know exactly who I mean. Pi, the PD information exchange as they were known. And she was their mouthpiece. She stood and, represented them. So it shouldn't be surprising that the Labour Party is all against parents being aware of what is being done to their children. Kind of tells you exactly what sort of people the Labour Party consists of. This is why I hate all political parties, ideologies. They just don't care about the people. Anyway, we're going to take a look at this piece. It is astounding that the Parliament of this country thinks it is wrong for parents to know what's going on with their children. But there you have it. Here goes. So a bid to ban social gender transitioning in schools is narrowly killed off by MPs. Despite the backing from 25 Tories, there weren't many people in the room that day, in the House that day, but they had the vote. It was a legitimate vote, and it was predominantly Labour voted against this. The Reclaim Party MP Andrew Bridgen fails with his proposals for new legislation. He wants to protect children. He wants to protect children and to ensure that schools absolutely have to tell parents what is happening. And the Labour Party said no. It's not the parents' place to know what is happening to their children in a school. And they wonder why the schools are viewed with such contempt and why teachers are sitting there pushing this ideology, this agenda all the time. I did the video recently about some of the most disgusting things taught to 9-year-olds. We're talking about self-pleasuring, front and rear ending, that sort of thing. They're talking about how it was acceptable. Teachers telling 9-year-olds how it's acceptable that people can find them attractive at all ages. If that's not grooming for adults to pleasure themselves with children, I do not know what the hell that is. And that is the Labour Party through and through. They don't want you to know what is going on in schools with your children. Anyway, a bid to ban the promotion or discussion of gender transitioning in schools was defeated in the House of Commons today, despite being backed by 25 Tory MPs. The Reclaim Party MP Andrew Bridgen, who was kicked out the Conservatives for comparing COVID vaccines to the Holocaust, failed with his proposals for new laws. He had attempted to use a 10-minute rule motion to introduce a bill on gender and parental rights in schools to the Commons. Now, I'm pretty sure that parents would have backed this. I'm pretty sure parents up and down the country would prefer to know what is going on in schools and would prefer to know what what is happening to their children. I've already also done the one the other day where sex education classes, parents have no rights to know what is being told to their children. And this was backed by the courts. The very justice system of this country says parents do not have the right to know what teachers are doing and saying to their children. And now Parliament is agreeing. This country, the whole of the establishment, is pushing massively for the sexualisation of children. And we're letting it happen because we're not on the streets, with pitchforks and burning torches demanding change. and actually sort of dangling these people from lampposts. Mr. Bridgen, branded a conspiracy theorist by critics, said his proposed bill would prohibit the promotion of social transition practices in schools. And he said it would also require schools to inform parents if their child has indicated an intention to pursue or has commenced social transition, and gives parents the right to access information about sex education lessons in schools. And the Labour Party said no. In a rare move, a group of MPs forced a vote to block the introduction of this proposed bill. Labour former Minister Ben Bradshaw described Mr. Bridgen's proposals as despicable. The Labour Party think it is despicable to let parents know what's going on and what's happening to their children. Let that sink in. Just let that sink in for a moment. Think about the implications of that. That means anything can happen in school, and the parents are under no obligation, or they have no legal protection to find out what is happening to their child. And they are using the let's keep this our little secret because they don't want the parents to know. Any adult having our little secret with children is a groomer or a P. And any teacher doing it is a groomer or a P. And any teacher not whistleblowing it is aiding a groomer and a P, and is therefore just as guilty. Every teacher it seems, in this country today is either a groomer or a P, or a fellow traveller. And the whole of the Labour Party. All socialists, groomers and Ps, every single one. The very fact that it takes an independent to bring this in is stunning, isn't it? MPs voted by 40 votes to 34, a majority of 6, to block the bill being introduced. And there's Ben Bradshaw, a man. Now look at that face. Let's actually examine what that man is. That's Sir Ben Bradshaw. He's a man who wants to keep secrets from parents about what is going on with their children. He's a groomer. Any man who says that parents don't have the right to know what's going on at all times with their own children in a school, groomer. Ben Bradshaw, you're either a groomer or a P or a fellow traveller. You are not someone who needs to be anywhere near children, and certainly not alone and unsupervised. The 10-minute rule motions offer backbench MPs an opportunity to present an idea for legislation to the Commons with a speech lasting no more than 10 minutes. Even if accepted, such bills are unlikely to then progress further due to a lack of parliamentary time to debate the bills tabled by backbench MPs. That's not the point. The point is, it was voted down at the very first stage by the Labour Party. They don't even want to discuss the fact that parents must know what's going on with their children. It is absolutely disgusting that this is allowed to happen and is allowed to sit. What they're pushing in schools is despicable and degenerate. I've done so many videos about it. It upsets me, but I still have to keep doing them because I need to push this information. We need to share this. We need to get this information out. And it is basically what they're doing to children, not just in schools, but with the hormone theories, in the Tavistock clinics, with social media, with the pressure groups like what's the big PD one, Stonewall, things like that. They keep doing it. They're treating children as the shock troops in a gender war, a sexualised war. They're sexualising children. They're normalising pay. They're using children as guinea pigs. And the Labour Party, of course, are all for this. It's disgusting. They're disgusting. Every single member of the Labour Party now can be called a groomer and a P. Every single one of them. Because not one of them is standing up and saying no. Well, there is. Rosie Duffield. There's one. Nobody is protecting children. Why are these people in power constantly, and I mean constantly, pushing for the sexualisation of children? Every single one. The whole of the establishment in this country are peas and groomers. You can trust none of them. None of them. We need to do something. We need to change our entire system from the ground up. And we need to bring back the hanging penalty. And we need to start dangling these in public, sign around the neck, tattooed on the forehead, start shaming them. And start with that Labour MP. Unbelievable. Anyway, it's getting me angry. I'm going to round up and come up. The very fact that they do it so openly, so brazenly, they stand in Parliament, they say, no, no, no. Parents must not know what's going on with their children. We must keep secrets from parents. We must have the right of teachers to show things, to say things, to do things to children. And teachers must utterly keep these secrets away from the parents. Because if parents knew what was happening to their children, they'd be angry. So we cannot let the parents know. That's openly being said. And the people of this country are just letting it happen. Things absolutely need to change. And this needs to be made aware. We need to get this information out there. And everybody must know. And everybody must get angry. And people must demand immediate change. I'm going to stop because I'm getting angry. Thank you very much for listening. If you like what you see and hear on the channel, please hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, leave a like, leave a comment, please share the video. And until next time, stay safe, stay well. If you can, home educate your kids, and if you can't, at least be aware of everything that's happening to them. And goodbye.